Alrighty, now calculating slope on a graph. Remember, we must use pretty points. And to calculate it, we do the rise over the run. We've got to use pretty points, and we have to do rise over run. So, if you have forgotten, there is always one pretty point on the y-axis for my class. It won't always be like that, but for my class it will be. So on this first one, we see we have one pretty point right here at the origin. If it's going through the origin, is a proportional or non-proportional graph? That means it's proportional. So I want to go from my dot and just kind of follow the line of my graph along until I find another pretty point. If I stop here, I see I have another pretty point. So again, what we want to do is use our rise over our run and plug in how far we moved. We rose, we rise 1, and we ran 1. Our rise was 1, our run was 1. That simplifies to 1. Keep in mind, it does not matter which points you pick. It does not matter which points you pick. I could choose this pretty point down here and this pretty point up here, and I'll still get the same thing. I would still do rise over run. From this point to go up to this point, I went up 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I went over 1, 2, 3 blocks. 3 over 3, it's still going to simplify to 1. So it doesn't matter what sets of pretty points you pick, it will always simplify to 1 for that graph. Slide over and try this one on your own. Again, there's always a pretty point on the y-axis, so I suggest you start there. Take a minute, pause the video, figure out the slope for yourself, and then check back with me. Okay, welcome back. If I check one point here on the y-axis, I see right here at 3, that is a pretty point. If I slide up right here, this is not a pretty point. I don't know exactly what that number is. Pretty points are where all 3 lines come together. But at this point, I only have my one blue and one black line coming together. I need to keep going. Again, this is not a pretty point. It's in the middle of my line. I don't know exactly what that is. But if I rise up here, I see again that I have another pretty point. So now I just need to do my rise over my run. I see that I rose 3, I ran 2, so my slope here is 3 over 2. If you need more practice, go ahead and go on to the practice problems that we have linked on the slide for you. If you have questions though, please let us know.